Hello guys, welcome to the first video for the instructions on the TESS software. I welcome you all to this video. First of all, nice to have you here and see you being interested in crypto. It's an exciting time. We're seeing new all-time high prices and we would love to help you guys to become more profitable in this cryptocurrency market. It's very volatile. We're getting a lot of price action, and a lot of people are getting wiped out of their positions. We've been lucky that we have some experience throughout these years that we've built up, and we would love to share that with you, not only through our analysis, but also through our software. I've made this first video as a kind of startup to just go over the first couple of settings. Uh, it will be a total of about 5 videos explaining all the settings that we have in our offset table. And you guys should have downloaded and installed the bot already if you come this far. And from here we'll get into the offset table, kind of develop some simple agents that can perform certain trades. From here we'll make it more complex, get into strategies and how you can create your own templates based on price action and market structure. So today we'll go over, yeah, well, we just had a little introduction. We'll not make these videos too long. We'll just get to the point. The point or the title of this video is the offset in the offset tables. Okay, so what is an offset? What are entry and exit multipliers? And what are entry and exit timeouts. Okay, we'll go over those things. And introduction, well, the offset table is basically a set of agents. Agents is the name that we give every single trader in our Excel sheet. And you can have hundreds of traders in your Excel sheet. Every trader has a little brain. It tries to enter and exit the market at certain price levels. Okay, and of course we track all this data and we will get to a lot more exciting stuff later, but let's just start with the basics. It's something that I find really hard to do because I'm already so far up in the process that I want to do the complex stuff right away. But many of our users find it very helpful if we could have some startup or instruction videos. So how to transform to a readable file. Okay, so as some of you might know already, and we have to open up a Google Docs for this. Let us do that. As some of you already know, you can create these agents using an Excel Google Docs. Okay, so an Excel template. The first thing you do is you copy over the settings because every agent has all these settings and inputs that the user can give. Okay, if you've copied over all these settings, let's do that right here in a new Excel sheet so we can rename it. Okay, you have all these settings. You could even take only one of the agents. Okay, so every row, every horizontal row is an agent here. You could copy it here, and now you have one agent with the name Stream Agent 3. Okay, so I could download this to a .csv file. Okay, and mind you, my Excel is in Dutch, so when you see onwaar, that basically means false, and when you see waar, that basically means true. So some of the things are in Dutch, which might confuse you, but if you download this as a CSV, that now you have your own offset table, and this is readable by our software, and it can perform all these trades for you. Okay, so you don't need any coding background. All you need is some basic knowledge of Excel and some basic knowledge of trading. You don't need to be a trading expert as well. Okay, let's get back to our presentation. Okay, so how to transform it to a readable file? Well, you make it into a .csv file. You download your Excel Google Docs. You download it as a .csv file, then you drop it into your bot folder. Okay, we'll get more into this later as well. Hey, Iggy's, how are you, man? Nice to have you here. I think some of these instruction videos will also help you to more understand all these agent settings because I do understand that there is a lot of settings, okay? But if you just focus on the ones that are important to look at, then you should be able to make some adjustments yourself, make it more exciting for yourself, or in some cases less exciting for yourself. It's all up to you. Pre-made tables. So as you guys know, I like to share my tables with you guys. I currently do not have as much time as I would like to because, of course, creating these tables is also where my own profit comes from. So I really need to put more time into that. But things like this, like the videos, are also really important. So what I do is I post the tables in the test table chats. Okay, so let's go here, and then you have all these tables that I share. What you can do is you can download the .csv, import it to your Google Docs Excel, okay, and then just like we had before this, you'll get something like this, and you can edit every setting. If you're not that interested in changing something because you know what someone is doing or trying to do with his trades, and you want to follow that up, you could basically just change the amounts and you'd basically be trading the same. My advice is to never do that because if you also change the offsets, which we will get to now, then you make it a lot better for everyone. Okay, so let's just get into this offsets. What are these offsets? Okay, an offset is basically a bid or ask that the user does in the order book. Okay, so as you guys are familiar with, Bybit works with an order book. So you have people bidding and asking for Bitcoin at a certain price. Okay, so the current market price is 60.41. It's going up currently, so there is more people asking for Bitcoin than there are people bidding. Okay, so the bids are being removed, the asks are being placed. Okay, that's what we are trying to also participate in. Okay, so how are we participating in that? As you guys can see on this exchange, it's a bot that has been trading for some hours already. And what it's doing is it's bidding and asking. As you guys can see, it's really, really low trading amounts. It's $5, $10, whatever, but it just keeps bidding and asking. So an offset is basically the place in the order book where you want to do your bid or your ask. Okay, so if the price is 82, let's just say 80, and you have an offset of $10, then you would bid at 70 for a buy, and you would ask at 70 for a buy, and you would bid at 90 for a sell. Okay, so an offset is the place in the order book where you place your bid or your ask. Okay, how you can compare what you can compare this with is when you have this huge trading desks where there's a lot of people shouting to buy certain stocks. You know, these old-fashioned stock exchanges. And then you have these guys putting their hands up to bid and ask. Okay, so that's basically what we're doing, but we're automating that on an online exchange. Okay, so we're putting our hands up whenever we want to buy Bitcoin. We're putting our hands down or whatever, however that works on the trading desk when we want to sell it. Okay, so we are participating in the price action using our offsets to determine at how rapid we want to enter or how in a rush we are to get into our position. Okay, so that's the offset part. Um, you can swing, you can scalp, you can high frequency trade, and this is also what you can see on my exchange. Okay, there is different types of trades already being placed in the order book. So all these lines that you see are basically bids and asks that I already have placed in the order book, with my average position being here in the middle. This does not mean that this is all the orders that I have, because based on what the price is doing, I'm placing more bids, more asks, I'm replacing bids and asks, okay? So this is not everything, this is just what's open currently in bids and asks. It might be close orders, so exits that from counter trades that have already been filled, but it also might be new shorts that I'm trying to open, okay? So these are all my bids and asks, but at certain price levels, for example, here at the top, you could imagine that selling $10 or $20 is not that as interesting. Here, it would be more interesting to do a swing, okay, or a scalp at least down with a stop loss above here with a good risk to reward, okay. All these things are possible with our offset table. So it's not a grid trading system. You can do trend following, you can do whatever, because as you guys might be able to think or to imagine, is that if you want to buy the dip, you basically be yeah, really rapid with being in the order book in this on this side, on the green side, right, on the asking side. Every time price dips a little bit, you'd have to be right in there with your asks to get filled as rapid as possible because you're expecting higher highs. Okay, So that's the part about swing scalps and high frequency trades. So our software allows you to create order templates, order flow templates, price action templates, however you want to call it, um, that are that can do different types of trading. So we're not limiting you to do only swing trades based on the 2-hour signals or scalps based on the 15-minute signals. You can do all three of them, with high frequency trading being our bread and butter strategy. Because as you guys can see in my test bot, which I've been running for I think 10 days now, started with $160, came to 350, 360, so doubled my money in 8 days. Then yesterday I took scalp short on this account, kind of accidentally, and I set a very tight stop loss right after that. I posted it in the subscriber chat. You guys can have a look. It was like a $20 stop loss or $30 stop loss, but I took a little bit of manual loss there. But what the bot does is basically just trade the range, and it keeps doing that all day long. And this is what you can expect from that. Okay, so we are doing limit orders, and limit orders, as you guys maybe know, and we will get to this later in later videos as well, where we discuss more about the strategy behind our templates. One of the strategies involves doing a lot of limit orders, because every time one of these orders gets filled, okay, we're getting paid 0.025% in commission. So normally, if you trade on stock exchanges or whatever other exchange you trade on, basically, you will be paying fees. So whenever you enter a position, you're kind of already in a loss. Okay, so the price has to already move a certain percentage in your way, in your favor, in order for you to only break even. In our version, what we're doing with Bybit, every time we enter our position, we're already in a profit because we're getting paid rebates. So every time we enter, all the volume that we create, this is how I like to view it, all the volume that we create on this exchange pays us rebates. So that's why this is so interesting. I don't even care that much about the profits on the scalps themselves, as long as I can just keep the bot as active as possible. So just make it do as many trades as possible. So as you guys can see here, 27, 27, 27, 22. So it's within minutes you're making a lot of trades. And this is an account started with $160, guys. So this is not like, okay, I have to put in $100,000 because this is doing market making. Well, yes, we are doing market making, but we like to call it smart market making, because we are not participating in the market at just any given point. We are finding these nice sweet spots where we want to participate in price action, and that's where we want to try to create the most possible volume. So, for example, you have your own technical analysis, you find a price area that's really interesting for a reversal, or a support reversal flip. So you just expect a lot of price action there. Well, that's the place where you want your agents to just generate a lot of volume, because everyone is trying to enter, and the longs are getting wicked out, then the shorts are getting wicked out. So there's just a lot of capitulation in price. That's what the bot loves, because at the end, it will read out the oversold and overbought conditions, but it will not get emotional. And we humans tend to get emotional, maybe over leveraged, thereby setting a too tight of a stop loss, or not setting a stop loss at all, or things like that could really mess our trading up. And yeah, the bot is just a lot more patient and a lot more focused as well than that we are. Um, so that was using your own TAs to set offsets. Okay, so let's get more practical with that. So how does that, what does that look like? Well, if the price is, for example, here, and I would, and this is the 30-second chart. So let's go to 1 minute. It doesn't really matter going from 30 to 1 minute, but let's just give an example for that. If you see that the price action is within tens of dollars, then it doesn't make sense to buy the dip $600 below that, because setting an offset of 600 here would basically say, uh, am I still live? Yeah, would basically say that that you were trying to ask for Bitcoin at $600 below the market price. Okay, so I'm actually going to create this table and we're going to run it so that we can see what that looks like on our screen. So let's just put this one as our example one. 600 offset entry multiplier of one. We'll get to these things later. Amount is $10. Let's do this in 2 seconds. And we keep most of the rest to the same because, of course, we're going to go over that in later videos. So there is no point in discussing them right now or going too much over them. So just ignore the rest. Just for now, let me highlight those settings. Basically, we're going to go over uh, these couple of guys here. So, so we're going to go over these settings first: the offset, entry multiplier, exit multiplier, amount, entry timeout, exit timeout. Okay, and this is the first example. So the entry IDs, you can give them names. You can choose your own name that you give them, as long as you don't have multiple similar names within your offset table, because the bot will misinterpret that. So and the next one is we'll set it to 60. Um, okay, I cannot type on that pad anymore because there is some shortcuts. So I have to take that into account. Okay, so the next one is $60, and let's set the exit multiplier on 3. What did I just say? I cannot touch that one anymore. Um, all right, so what we've done currently is we have decided our offset, which is basically the dollar amount below the current price where you want to interact as a bidder or asker. And we have we now come to the entry and exit multipliers. An entry multiplier, normally we don't use that. What is an entry multiplier? Well, it's just a factor that you can multiply with an offset to come up with your entry. So if I would have put 0.0.1 here, that would mean that my offset instead of 600 would be 60. So yeah, a tenth of 600. Okay, so the entry multiplier times your offset is your actual offset where you want to enter with. These you will find them to be normally set to 1 because there is no big reason to change this entry multiplier. We've set it for future purposes, uh, but one of the reasons that I use it personally is sometimes with altcoins, because on Bybit you can trade some altcoins and the prices on those altcoins are a lot lower. And so by using the entry multiplier, you can kind of factor down the offset to a cent amount without going too low on these, because that will kind of get glitchy at some point. If you're really trying to high frequency trade within a coin that's below $1, then these amounts get too low for comfort. So then I like to use the entry multiplier to factor them down. The exit multiplier is basically the really simple exit target that we have for agents that do not use the other settings, just these settings. Let's say we get filled $600 below the price that we were trying to ask for Bitcoins. So someone actually sold us, price came down $600, and he sold us $10 worth of Bitcoins, $600 below the price that we were starting to ask for Bitcoins at. Okay, so now we got filled $10. Let's say the price was 10,600, it's now 10,000, and we've bought $10 of Bitcoins. Where would be our exit multiplier? Well, our exit would be offset times exit multiplier. So 600 times 1. So if you got filled at 10,000, when price was actually at 10,600 when we started asking, then our exit would be at 10,600 if the exit multiplier is set to 1. But if we set it to 2, then the exit would be 1200, the exit target, because the exit target, as I said, is exit multiplier times your offset. So when the price was 10,000, when 10,600, when we started bidding, asking for Bitcoin, and price now dumped to 10,000, now we got filled for 10 contracts. The amount was 10, so we got filled for 10 contracts. Now we want to know where is the bot going, where is this agent going to exit? Well, we do 600 times 2 is 1200. So at $11,200, this agent will try to put his exit with using a limit order. Okay, so an exit multiplier is basically a formula to calculate a static um, exit target using a limit order. The next thing are the entry and exit timeouts. These settings are basically used for the agents to recheck up on their position. So for example, let's say that we set the $600 agent to recheck up on his position every 1 minute. Okay, so the entry timeouts, exit timeouts are set in minutes. And let's say that our $60 agent, so the agent that is somewhat more rapid with asking for Bitcoin and is first in line, basically trying to be one of the first in line and asking for Bitcoin, so entering really rapidly, that one can recheck up on its position every tenth of a minute. And exit timeouts are set to 999. So what do these entry timeouts and exit timeout mean? Well, this agent, first example and second example, we're going to go this one. This first agent is allowed to check up on his position in line. So when he's bidding, when he's asking for Bitcoin $600 below the current price, every 1 minute he's going to check. So this agent is going to check if he's still $600 below the market price. If not, he will replace his ask for $10 and replace it again at $600 below that current market price. So if price moved and the timer hits, the agent will start recalibrating, replacing its entry order. And so that's why I did 1 minute for the $600 and 1/10 of a minute for the $60. Because if you're bidding, if you're asking closer to the market price, you'd probably have to update a little bit faster to make sure that you're not just gonna get caught up in a price that's going down overall. So the trend is down, you're gonna get filled anyway on $60 if the trend is down. But if you keep updating your $60 order, that would basically mean that you only want to be filled if that movement of $60 happens within a tenth of a minute, because otherwise you will just keep replacing your entry and you'll never get hit if the price just slowly moves down. Okay, so those are the first couple of settings. Let me see if the rest is okay to start a trial with that so you guys can see what that would do, something simple like that. All right, there we go. Right. I think the best thing for the videos would be that I created test tables later and I share those with you guys, because I have another video coming with Sam in a second. So I will stick to this video. I'll make another one on yeah, on the next couple of settings, and we'll make in 5 videos, I hope to discuss all the basic settings. Then we can go over to how to create strategies and templates using multiple sets of agents to perform a couple days or weeks or months of trading for you. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope it was useful. And yeah, I'll get back to you soon with another video together with Sam discussing the overall market. Have a good day, guys, and I'll see you guys soon.